Good morning, students. Welcome to Literature in English. I welcome you to the second session of Act 1, Scene 2. I resume my explanation to where I left. Prospero asked Miranda to pay attention to what he was telling her. Prospero said that he neglected all things related to ordinary life or politics and dedicated himself entirely to seclusion in order to improve his knowledge of topics that have more value than was commonly believed. But by cutting himself off from the world, he unknowingly awoke evil in the hearts of his own brother. Just like a good parent who raises a bad child, his trust in him produced the opposite effect, making him into a liar as big as a trust in him. His confidence in him was infinite. Now, established in his position of power and able to use all his wealth and whatever wealth he could use, Prospero's power to take off for himself. He became like a man who told a lie for so long that he began to believe it was true. He began to believe he was actually a duke. As a result of being Prospero's substitute and acting as a royal duke in public with all the duties, rights, and power, his ambition began to grow. He questions Miranda again, saying whether she was attentive or not. Miranda answered that his story would cure deafness. It's impossible not to hear it. Prospero says Antonio was playing the role of being the duke, but to get rid of the last thing, separating the role he was playing from who he was, he had to become the actual Duke of Milan. As for him, poor fellow, that he was Prospero's library was as large as dukedom. Having decided that he was unable to run or rule a city, Antonio became so thirsty for power that he secretly allied with the King of Naples to get rid of Prospero. In return, Antonio agreed to pay the King of Naples a certain amount of money every year, to swear to obey him and to force his dukedom, which had always been independent, O poor Milan, into the shameful position of being under Naples' control. Miranda says, Oh my God, Prospero. He asked Miranda to think about the pact he made with King Alonso and about what happened as a consequence of it. Then tell him if Antonio can really be thought of as a brother. Miranda replied she would be wicked if she had anything other than good thoughts about grandmother. But good women sometimes give birth to bad sons. Children, I hope you have understood till here. Now, Prospero says, ask Miranda to listen to the outcome of this secret alliance. The King of Naples, who had always been an enemy of his, listened to his brother's request. Antonio asked the king in return of his oath of royalty, and however much money is paid to the king each year, would immediately remove him and all of his immediate family from Milan. And in deep darkness had so then they raised an army full of this treachery. At midnight on the date they had chosen to act, Antonio opened the gates of Milan, and in deep darkness and the agents he had chosen for the job rushed him and her crying out of Milan. Miranda feels sad. Miranda cannot remember crying then, but now the tale brings tears in her eyes. Prospero says listen to a little more, and he will tell her everything up to their current situation, which was the entire reason why it was necessary for him to tell her the story at all. She questions Prospero that why didn't they just kill them when they took them out of Milan. Prospero says, good question. His story does indeed brings up that question. My dearest daughter, they didn't dare to do that because he was so loved by the people of Milan. Antonio and Alonso had to keep any blood from staining their actions and hid their evil goals behind a prettier picture. In short, they hurried us onto a ship and carried us a few miles out to sea. There they had prepared a rotten shell of a boat. The rotten shell of a boat that had no ropes, no equipments, no sails or mast. Even the rats had abandoned it when they sensed its likelihood to sink. They lowered us down into the water. We were left to cry out to the sea, which just roared back at us. We sighed in sadness to the wind, which sighed back in pity, and in doing so, it buffeted us with winds that, no matter how loving, only made us more uncomfortable. Miranda says, what trouble she must have been then to him. Prospero says, oh, no. Prospero said that she was just like a little angel who kept him alive while he cried salty tears into the ocean and groaned under his burden. He smiled with the strength and courage that came from heaven, that gave him the courage to face whatever was going to happen. Miranda, she asked her father how did they land there. Prospero says, with the help of God, a nobleman from Naples, Gonzalo, had been there to put in charge of the task of abandoning them at sea. Out of charity, he gave them some food, fresh water, as well as clothes. Linens, supplies, and other necessities that have over the years been very useful. Also, he was so noble and kind that knowing how much he loved his books, he gave him some books from his library, and that he valued more than his dukedom. Miranda says, if only she could meet that man some day. Prospero now rises or stands up. He stands up and puts on his magical garment and orders Miranda to sit still and listen to the rest of the story of the sad times at sea. They arrived there on that island. Prospero was his teacher there. Prospero gave her a better education than other princes get, because they had so many opportunities to spend their time more foolishly than to pay as close attention to their teachers. Miranda says, may God thank Prospero for it. But then, please sir, a question kept popping up in her mind. Why did Prospero create the storm at sea? Prospero says that she should know that much by the strange turn the goddess of luck has brought his old enemies to the island, and by his magic senses he could tell that his opportunity for good fortune depended on that lucky circumstance, and if he doesn't act but instead did nothing, he will never get it again, have such an opportunity again. Miranda said that he said, no more questions then. If Miranda is feeling sleepy, it is good time for sleepiness. So Prospero asked her to sleep as she had no choice. And Prospero made her sleep on that enchanted island, and Miranda fall asleep. With this I come to the end of my explanation. There is an assignment attached to the video. Kindly Do it in your Fair Literature notebook. What happened to Prospero 12 years ago? Why was Prospero and his daughter not killed? And who helped Prospero and how? Answer key to the previous assignment is attached to the video. Kindly go through it and make necessary changes.